Hi everyone. I'm Xiao Jin from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you the Mid-Autumn Jade Rabbit Sachet. This sachet consists of the main body, ears, and accessories. Start by making the main body and the ears, then attach the accessories. Let's first learn the crocheting method for the main body. Let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, our plus number represents the round number. The stitch instructions column shows the stitch techniques needed for crocheting that particular round, including any increasing or decreasing stitches. The total stitches column indicates the total number of stitches after all the stitches for that round are completely crocheted. The stitch patterns used include X single crochet, B single crochet increase, W 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, CH chain stitch, K skip stitches, T half double crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Take out the corresponding yarn. The sample yarn is chosen randomly. For specific yarn, color combinations and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Starting with 19ch, which indicates the method of casting on. Its foundation chain to cast on. Cast on 19 chain stitches. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Hold the hook with your right hand. Start by making a slip knot. This knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten it. Now start crocheting the chain stitches. Crochet the required number of stitches. That's how you complete the cast on. Next, we'll work on the first round. Dow 2 means to start crocheting from the second chain from the hook. Begin crocheting here. 17x. The number before x indicates how many single crochets you need to make. Here it means you need to crochet 17 single crochets. Pick up with the hook at the second chain from the hook. The half loop on top is this strand of yarn here. Crochet 1 single crochet. Match it below accordingly. Pick up the half loop on top of the chain. Work a single crochet. Complete the corresponding number of single crochets. After finishing, on the last chain stitch, make 1 stitch, 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, that is to say, in the remaining chain from the starting stitch. Crochet 3 single crochets. 1 single crochet. 2 single crochets. 3 single crochets. The 3 single crochets in 1 stitch are done. Rotate the piece. Pick up the other 2 strands on the left side chain. That is the insertion point for the single crochet. Crochet 1 single crochet. While crocheting, tighten the yarn tail from the starting stitch. Continue to the next corresponding single crochet. When you reach the last chain position, crochet 1 single crochet increase, which means in this position, crochet 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, single crochet increase completed. Join with a slip stitch on the first stitch. The slip stitch is not indicated in the form. When crocheting, you need to finish each round with a slip stitch. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. Slip stitch does not count as a stitch, you need to tighten it. The first round is now completed. Move on to the second round. Start with 1 chain stitch. This will serve as the turning chain for the single crochet. The turning chain is not indicated in the chart. When crocheting in rounds, you need to make a turning chain at the beginning of each round. The turning chain for single crochet does not count as a stitch, you can slightly tighten it. In this chart, the round is V16X, VW, times 2. The parentheses indicate a group. The times number indicates how many times the stitches in the parentheses should be repeated at the position of the first stitch in the previous round. Make a single crochet increase, that is, at the insertion point. For the joining slip stitch, then continue with the corresponding number of single crochets. After completing them, make another single crochet increase. Make 1 single crochet 3 in 1. This completes one group of stitches. Move on to the second group. 1 single crochet increase. Then work the corresponding number of single crochets. After completing those, 1 single crochet increase. Work 1 single crochet 3 in 1 in the last stitch. Once everything is completed, you can check the stitch count. The total stitches for each round are listed in the corresponding chart. I won't mention this again moving forward. Next, slip stitch into the first stitch. Be sure to remember, at the end of each round, you need to slip stitch into the first stitch. After completing the slip stitch, tighten it. This concludes the second round. Now continue with the third round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Let me emphasize this again. When crocheting in rounds, you must start with a beginning chain. You can slightly tighten it. From now on, I won't repeat this instruction anymore. For this round, you also crochet 2 groups. Follow the pattern chart. Continue crocheting all the way down. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. This concludes the third round. Everyone, follow this demonstration. Refer to the chart, and keep crocheting until the end of the 6th round. Next, I will demonstrate The crochet method for the 7th round. Here, I'll only demonstrate the technique. The number of rounds is random. For this round, make single crochets evenly. That is, one stitch to another. The total stitches are the same as the previous round. Work all the way down to complete this round. This is the crochet method for the 7th round. Follow the chart afterward, and keep crocheting until the 3rd to last round is finished. Pay attention while crocheting, and make sure the right side of the fabric faces out. That is, the clearer texture side. In the chart, R15 R20 indicates no increase or decrease. This means for these rounds, work single crochets, without increasing or decreasing. Crochet all the way down to finish them. Below, I will demonstrate the 2nd to last round. For this round, there's no need for a chain to start. Directly follow the stitch pattern in the chart. Start with 2 chains first. These 2 stitches correspond to the stitch below this single crochet stitch. Below, in the next 2 adjacent stitches, work 1/2 double crochet each. One chain. Skip 1 stitch, leave it unworked. From the 2nd stitch position, work a 1/2 double crochet. Continue downward and work 2 1/2 double crochets. One chain. Skip 1 stitch, leave it unworked. Refer to the chart. Complete this round. After everything is finished, end with a slip stitch on the 2nd chain. Pick up the 2 strands of the braid and crochet. The 2nd to last round is completed. Move on to the final round. Work single crochets evenly without increasing or decreasing. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Insert the hook at the slip stitch join spot from the previous round. Crochet 1 single crochet. Work a single crochet in the adjacent stitch. This stitch might not be very noticeable. Don't skip it. Continue to work single crochets evenly into each stitch below. At the chain stitch position, insert and crochet into the hole. Finally, at the 1st stitch position, make a slip stitch. Don't pull this slip stitch too tight. Enlarge the loop. Leave about a 5 cm yarn tail. Break the yarn. Take the yarn tail and pull it through the adjacent stitch. Then pull it through the middle of the slip stitch. Adjust the loop size slightly. Tuck the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. This is the crocheting method for the main body. Next, let's learn how to crochet the ears. The ear consists of 2 parts. the inner ear and outer ear. Both parts are worked using the foundation chain method, crocheting in rounds. For the last round of the outer ear, it is joined to the inner ear. The new stitch technique used is double crochet increase, treble crochet, and a picket stitch with 2 chain stitches. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, crochet the first round of the inner ear. Start with a foundation chain. I've already prepared the beginning chain here. Then, make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Crochet a single crochet into the second to last stitch. Continue working single crochets into each stitch in sequence. On the edge of this braid, crochet 3 single crochets. Now it's time to start the other side. Continue with single crochets. At the position of the last stitch, crochet 2 single crochets. After completing, slip stitch into the first stitch to join. End with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The first round is done. Next, move on to the second round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. First, make a single crochet increase. Then crochet 4 single crochets downward. Crochet 3 half double crochets. Three double crochets. Work a double crochet increase, that is, in the same position. Crochet 2 double crochets. In the adjacent stitch, crochet 1 double crochet. In the same position, crochet 2 treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook. Draw through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. The first stitch is done. Continue with the second stitch. After completing the second stitch, make a picket stitch of 2 chains. Start by making 2 chains. Next, insert the hook into the front loop of the treble crochet stitch. This is the strand at the front of the stitch. Specifically, it's the yarn in front of the stitch, and the yarn underneath on the left side. Crochet 1 slip stitch. This slip stitch does not need to be tightened. The picket stitch with 2 chains is completed. Continue in the same stitch, and make 2 treble crochets. 1 double crochet, continue downward to finish the remaining section. Pay attention to the adjacent stitch, and don't skip it. Finally, on the first stitch, end with a slip stitch. Tighten. Break the yarn. One inner ear is now completed. Next, crochet the outer ear. The crocheting method for the first 2 rounds of the outer ear is identical to that of the inner ear. This part has already been crocheted in advance. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Take out the inner ear, and place it in front of the outer ear. Insert the hook into the back loop of the first single crochet stitch of the inner ear, and through the single crochet stitch of the outer ear. There will be 3 strands of yarn. Work a single crochet. In the adjacent position, make a single crochet increase. First, insert into the back loop of the stitch on the front piece. Then insert again into the corresponding stitch on the back piece. Crochet and increase. For this round, always insert through the back loop of the stitch on the front piece, and the corresponding stitch on the back piece. Crochet the corresponding stitch. Continue crocheting downward. At the picket stitch location, first insert into the inner ear. In the middle position between 2 chain stitches, pick up these 2 strands of yarn. Then insert again into the same position on the outer ear. And crochet 3 treble crochets. At the slip stitch position. Similarly, first insert your hook. Insert into the back loop of the inner ear. Then insert again into the outer ear, among these 2 strands of yarn. And crochet 2 treble crochets. Crochet all the way down for the remaining part. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Stretch the loop. Leave a long yarn tail. Break the yarn. One ear is now completed. Work the other ear in the same way. After completing the ears, attach them to the main body. First, fold the bottom of the ear inward. Sew about 1 centimeter on the underside. Once done, take the main body. Align the edges along the starting chain side, and press it flat front and back. Place the side with the slip stitch marks on the wrong side. Attach the ear to the middle of the back part of the main body. In practice, there should be about 1 centimeter space between the two ears. You can position them slightly angled if you like. Align the bottom edge with the 6th round from the bottom. The placement of the sample swatch is random. Pay attention while sewing. Make sure there are no sewing marks on the right side. Do not sew over the chain spaces. Sew a few extra stitches, secure it firmly in place, then weave in the ends. That's the method for attaching the ears. Next, we'll start making the decorations. First, sew the osmanthus decoration onto the main body, secure it in the bottom left position. Cut a piece of golden thread, pull it through the main body. Pass it through the petal. Insert a golden bead. Then come out from the center of the petal. One osmanthus petal is now secured. Continue and secure 2 more. Adjust while attaching them. Keep them flush against each other. You can also gather the sachet. Check the position. Prevent sewing it crooked. After completion, secure 3 leaves. Place them randomly. Finally, take the 2 yarn tails, tie a knot and hide them. The osmanthus decoration is now done. Next, make the tassel hanging ornament below. Cut a long yarn tail from the main body. Pass it through the tassel first. Fold the yarn tail in half, then insert it into the sewing needle at the same time. Next, thread on 1 red glass bead, 1 flat bead, 1 large pearl, 1 flat bead, 1 red glass bead, 1 metal motif, and 1 small pearl. Place the small pearl inside the center of the flower. Once completed, secure it underneath the main body, at the center position. Make sure it's fixed securely, then cut the yarn. The tassel pendant is done. Next, make the drawstring. Take out the corresponding yarn. Here, the yarn is chosen randomly. Insert a small pearl. Leave a length of about 1 meter. Tie a slip knot. Pull tight. Hang one of the yarn tails on your left hand. Insert the hook into the loop. Adjust the size of the loop. Be mindful that the knot below is not too loose. Take the yarn tail from below, from front to back. Place it on the hook. There are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and draw through in once. Continue placing the yarn. Yarn over, and draw through in once. The yarn you placed, don't pull it too tight. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting downward. Keep crocheting until you reach the corresponding length. After completing the required length, stretch the loop. Enlarge the loop a bit. Leave a long tail end and cut the yarn. Don't work on this loop for now. The drawstring is completed. There are 4 threads on the side of the drawstring. Thread them all through the needle at the same time. Take out the main body. Locate the 2 center chain spaces. Insert from the left side hole. Draw through. Continue to work downward. Finally, exit from the other side of the center. Adjust the drawstring a bit. Then, inside the main body, stuff in some spices for filling. I'll skip stuffing here. After stuffing the spices, add some fiber fill. This prevents the spices from spilling out. Pull tight the drawstring. Tie the drawstring into a bow. Adjust while tying. On the purl side, leave the hanging string. In practice, leave about 3 centimeters. After completion, adjust the length of the other side. Start by tightening the magic ring. Remove the excess part. keeping its length even. After adjusting properly, take the 2 yarn tails and draw them both through the loop at the same time. Pull tight. Take one of the yarn tails and insert it through a small purl. Tie the 2 yarn tails together in a knot. Hide the yarn tails along the texture of the drawstring. The drawstring is now secured. Finally, make the hanging string at the top. Crochet with the same yarn as the main body. Leave about 20 centimeters of yarn tail first. Crochet a chain stitch to the corresponding length. After completing it, leave an equal length of yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Take the 2 yarn tails, and thread them, both through the darning needle. Then insert a red glass bead. 1 flat bead. 1 large purl. 1 flat bead. 1 glass bead. Align the bottom with the edge of the chain stitch. After completing, cross the 2 yarn tails. Insert them into a lobster clasp. Tighten the yarn tails. Tie a knot. In practice, you can take both left and right yarn tails, cross them and tie a knot on the top. This way, the yarn tails won't unravel easily. You can also tie a knot in your preferred style. After completion, take the 2 yarn tails and insert them into a sewing needle. Weave the yarn tails back inside the beads. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. The hanging string is now done. Take out the main body. Attach the lobster clasp to the front of the main piece, at the middle position. That concludes the making method for the entire sachet. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, you can contact our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thanks all for watching. See you next time.